Alright, thanks for tuning in. In this recording, Spindula, question 1, it's on a question about equations. In the description box, uzothola links for other recordings for this question paper. It's November 2018, Mathematics Paper 1. So, lana question 1, well, it's your usual equations, quadratic inequality, SAD, simultaneous, and while questions around equations as well, right? So 1.1, we're solving for x. 1.1.1, basiphe a quadratic equation for 3 marks, x squared minus 4x plus 3 equal to 0. So in any quadratic equation, it's up to you. It's either usebenzisa quadratic formula or the factoring method. But for the second one, la 1.1.2, lana there's no way out except for quadratic formula. So lana question 1.1.1 ungasebenzisa quadratic or the factoring method, but you are expected to solve using quadratic, the factoring method. So the factoring method basically sifuna 2 yezinumber ngithi nangiz multiplier zikunikeza positive 3, the same numbers uthi na uzi-add zikunikeza ubani negative 4. So u3 nangimtimes no 1 ngithola ubani u3, but u3 nangimhlanganisa no3 ngithola ubani positive 4, right? But the 4 is negative, so how about we say this is negative and negative. Negative 3 now we times no negative 1, thola positive 3. Check. Negative 3 now umhlanganisa no negative 1, thola negative bani 4. Check. So ama-factors wethu la, ama-factors wethu uzoba ubani u-negative 3 no negative 1. Negative 3 no negative 1. So I think it's swap around. Okay, it doesn't matter ukuthi uzibhala kanjani, right? Doesn't matter. So our answer lies x equal to 1 or x equal to 3. 1.1.2 lana, it's a given. Usebenzisa a quadratic equation ngoba bathi correct to 2 decimal places, and at a factoring method ayikuvumeli ukuthi uthole ama roots wa this equation irrational numbers, right? And the factoring method ikuvumela ukuthi uthole ama-factors whenever you have ama roots wakho as ama rational number. So lana, since it's irrational, that's why bathi correct to 2 decimal places kwamele usebenzise quadratic formula. So quadratic formula sidinga a, b and c, then we substitute. So a wami ubani u5, b wami negative 5, and then c ubani 1. Then we substitute la and calculate. Okay, calculator. So negative 5 plus negative 5 squared minus 4 times 5, 1 divided by 2, 5. So first answer here is 0.72 in 2 decimal places, 0.72. And then the second root, the second answer is 0.27. 0.28, man, not 27, 0.28 in 2 decimal places. So now my roots way to for 1.1.2, 1.1.3, quadratic inequality. There's an inequality sign, right? So nalana quadratic equation or the factoring method. So we treat it as a quadratic equation by first finding any critical values. So lana ufuna 2 yezinumber ngithi nangiz multiply zinginika negative 10, the same numbers ngithi nangiz add zinginikeza negative 3. That's negative 5 and 2. Negative 5 times positive 2 nginikeza negative 10. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. So now my critical values wethu ke, it's x equal to 5 or x equal to negative 2. So just like in any quadratic equation, there's 3 methods for simplifying quadratic equations: completing a square, quadratic equation, factoring method. Ne quadratic inequality na ina 3 methods: graphical method, table method, or what's the third one, coach? Or the number line method. It's up to you. But I enjoy a graphical, the number line method. The table method, okay, yapora man, yapora. So you just pick your poison la, graphical or number line. So for this video ngizosebenzisa the graphical method. Okay, sidinga a grid. So this equation we treat it as a parabola, which in fact is a parabola, this one, x squared minus 3x minus 10, but you only plot lama x-intercept on your graph. So now it's minus 2 and 5. Then we check your function where it's greater than 0. Then our solutions wakho uzowathola lapho. Yikuphi x squared minus 3x minus 10 are greater than 0. It's above the x-axis. If it's less than, it's below the x-axis. Greater than umthola ngapha, or less than umthola kuphi ngapha. But you check where your graph is valid, right? Ngoba le graph is stretcher so, right? It stretches this way. It stretches so. So now stretcher so, it means that our solutions wam angapha, and then lagu negative 2, the graph stretches this way, so, right? So uma stretch ayilalela ngapha ngaka left, ngapha ka right yenza so. That's why the arrows are pointing this way. So therefore ngapha ku negative 2 our solutions izoyithola kuphi ngapha. So the first solution it x less than minus bani 2, or x greater than 5. Now my answers were together. These are the roots or set of solutions for this quadratic inequality. So let's go to 1.1.4. 1.1.4 wasiphe a sad equation. This is a sad equation. Why do I say this is a sad equation? Because of sine square root like the equation yet. But you can also look at it as a quadratic equation, right? But mina ngizoyiview as a sad equation ngoba ngibona ngathi izoba simple leyo approach leyo. So 3 square root x equal to x minus 4. This is a sad equation. So the first thing komele uyenze is to remove the square root. So I square both sides of the equation. Nang square ngithola 9x equal to, solve lama brackets out to tolu x squared minus 8x plus 16. So 9 squared and 3 squared, it's 9. Square root x squared, it's x. Then she transpose up the 9x to the right hand side, and then negative 8x no negative 9x basinikeza negative 17x, and then this and this but remain constant, abana like terms. Then ngifuna ama roots for this equation. Again, this is a quadratic equation, so isuke from sad to quadratic to a quadratic equation. So okay, now I'm curious as to this equation. Uma ekuqaleni ngithi this equation ungayibheka as a quadratic equation, ungayenza so: x, instead of removing the square root less ungavele usibhale as 1/2 meaning we change the square root into the exponent, minus 4, and then we transpose this to the right, bese uba no x minus 3x 1 over 2 minus 4. This is a quadratic, but an exotic one. Why ngisho njalo? Quadratic sijwayele ukuthi ithi x squared ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, right? But check something, the x squared and the x, the exponent lega x squared ubani u2, and then the exponent ka x lana ubani 1. So 2 divided by 2 uthola ubani 1. So nala the exponent lana ubani 1. Look at it as x squared. So now divide ngo 2 uzothola le exponent yala. So this makes it a quadratic equation as well. Yes, this makes it a quadratic equation as well. But nanga uyayibona lento engikhuluma ngayo, zama ukuyi approacha ngale ndlela le ukuthi anye kuyithola le solution esoyithola lana. Okay, then siyaqhubeka, but I'm using the factoring method. Ungasebenzisa quadratic formula if uyafuna, and then lana kuba minus 16, lana kube plus 1 ngoba minus 16 times 1 is no, should be negative. Should be negative 1. Negative 16 times negative 1 is positive 16. Negative 16 amhlanganisa na negative 1 kunikeza negative 16. So our solutions wami x equal to 16 or x equal to 1. Right. Lena yini isad equation. Equation enani ni square root. Square root sakho ngaphasi kwe square root sakho uthola ubani the variable x. So kwamele uteste your solutions every time in a side equation. This is what you do. Okay, yes, the square root 16. 3 times square root 16 is equal to 12. So on the left hand side, 12. You just test my solutions wakho la. 16 minus 4 is equal to 12. So 12 is equal to 12. This is correct. Okay. Now, so 16x equal to 16 correct. Let's do 1 again. So it's 3. Where there's x, ngifaka ama roots wam. So 3 square root 1 equal to 3 on the left, and then while there's 1 minus 4 ngithola ubani negative 3 equal to negative 3, and with 3 akekho equal to negative 3. So it means x equal to 1 is not applicable, or it's not a solution for this equation. So that's why it is important ukuthi uteste ama solutions wakho for a sad equation, just to test ukuthi which one engekho valid for the equation. So 1.1 uphelela la, solving for x yaku simultaneous equation ku 1.2. Alright, 1.2 solve simultaneously for x and y. Given x 3x minus y equal to 2, let's call this equation 1. 2y plus 9x squared equal to minus 1, let's call this equation 2. Right? Now, ngifuna ukusolve or to produce a third equation so that ngizoyi substitute in one of the two equations, meaning that ngifuna ukwenza x or y the subject of the formula, and then ngiyenze substitute in one of the two equations. Bheka ke la, ngiyothatha equation 1 and make y the subject of the formula. I can make x the subject of the formula using equation 1, or even equation 2, making y subject of the formula, or making x la the subject of the formula. But 1, 2, 3 should be avoided. Why ngisho njalo? Ngoba this variable ka y la ku equation 1 yenza life ibe simple. That way angeke kube ne fraction in your equation, angeke kube ne square root in your equation, right? So thatha equation 1 and make y the subject of the formula, right? So we just made y ngimtranspose to the right, ngathatha u2 ngamletha ngapha. Lo y sekafika ngapha be positive, u2 fika ngapha be negative. Then so no equation 3 where y is the subject. Then start to equation 3 simsubstitute ku equation 2, so substitute ngapha. I cannot substitute back to equation 1 ngoba equation 1 uproduce equation number 3. Then siya substitute ke manje. Equation 2 2y la kuno y khona ngifake u3x minus 2, this ngoba y is equal to 3x minus 2. Then siya simplify ke la ngithola u6x minus 4 after simplifying the bracket plus 9x squared equal to 1. Ngimuvele everything to the left where u1 nakafika ngaphi bawubani upositive. The negative 4 and the 1 basinikeza u-minus 3. Now again this is a quadratic equation. It's not a must ukuthi usebenzise factoring method. It's up to you. Quadratic formula, factoring method, it's up to you. Mina ngizosebenzisa the factoring method, but first I need to divide by the common factor of 3 la. U3 uyangena ku9 angena ku6 angene la ku3. That's why I divide by 3, because 3 is a common factor. Ngithola u3x squared plus 2x minus 1 equal to 0. Then sithola ama factors la. Okay, it's 3x x nikeza u3x squared, and then lana it should be u plus 1, and then lana kube u minus 1 ngoba nang multiply le na le na le nangiz add, it should give me a positive 2, which lama factors lawa zinginikeza a middle term of plus 2. Now x is equal to 1 over 3 or x equal to negative 1. Then we find a value ka y ke manje by substituting x bethu into equation 3. So it's 3 open bracket 1 over 3 minus 2. You substitute lana so that I find y. So it's negative 1. So it's going to be negative 1. So it's going to be negative 1. Y is equal to negative 1. And then ngifaka who's this? Negative 1 as x, and then in total negative 5, or y is equal to negative 5. So now abu x no y1, the pair of x and y. Now 1.3, if 3 raised to exponent 9x is equal to 64 and 5 to the exponent of square root p is equal to 64, calculate without the use of a calculator the value of this expression. Okay, I started this expression 3x minus 1. Everything is raised to exponent 3 divided by square root 5 raised to x square root to the square root of p. This is equal to, let us simplify the numerator again. So the 3 applying uloganji, the low exponent, the third one, a raised to exponent x outside the brackets, exponent y. The exponents multiply each other, so total x y. Now lessons are the same thing. The 3 meaning uzo multiplier only the exponent. So you have about 3 raised to 3x minus 3. Everything divided by the square root of 5 raised to the square root of p. Now asenze so ke manje. Asenze so. Remember, sifuna the value of this. Sifuna the value of this. But lana check abangiphe u3 raised to exponent 9x equal to 64. If bengno 3 raised to exponent 9x bengiyo expression, then into bengizoyenza bengizovele ngisubstitute ngithi okay la it's 64. If I had 5 raised to exponent square root p, then bengiyofaka ubani u64 khona lapho. Yes, now asize la senze so nangu u3 9x la equal to 64. Guess what? Nangizothatha the third root. Shall I space la? The third root, I think is so. The third root on both sides of this equation, 64. So lana give about 3 raised to exponent 9x times 1 over 3, the third root, right, equal to, what's the third root ka 64? What's the third root ka 64? Shift third root ka 64 is equal to 4. 9x times 1 over 3 is equal to 3x. 4. Therefore, by applying a third root on both sides of this equation, I've actually reduced the exponent ka 9x to 3x, which, by the way, ikhona la kule expression. So where there's 3 raised to exponent 3x ngiyofaka ubani u4 la. So it's going to be 4. This is equal to 4, so it means the 4 yoba raised to exponent negative 3. Divide by square root 5 raised to exponent square root p. So now lines are the same thing, but this time in tata the square root for this equation. So ngizowenza so ngizoti 5 raised to exponent square root p equal to 64. So now we enjoy this video, thola some value out of this video, please leave a like, makhohlwa ukushare nabangani bakho nangabe utholi some value. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. In the description box uzothola ama links for other recordings engiwayenzile for this question paper. So now for this equation sithatha the square root. Angisho sithatha the square root. Why am I taking the square root? Ngoba now at the denominator my 5 is under a square root, so it's only logical to also take the square root, so that nangapha ngibanani I need to take the square root so that ngazi ukuthi, so that I can calculate the value for the square root 5 raised to exponent square root p. So what's the square root of 64? Square root 64 is equal to 8. So it's 8 equal to square root 5 raised to square root okay. Alright, my apologies ngaloko le call bekomele ngiyithathe le, but anyway, back to business ke manje. So the square root of 64 is 8, and then the square root 5 raised to the exponent of square root p is equal to bani 8. So lana is going to be 8 again. Therefore 4 raised to exponent minus 3 divided by 8 is equal to 1 over, okay, wait, just wait a moment la. Okay, ngiyabona iplan ngiyenzile la, doesn't make sense lento le. Alright, ndaba lokuphapha nami ngiyaphapha sometimes. Okay, lana it's 3 raised to exponent 3x times 3 raised to exponent minus 3 divided by, so this thing where you split akala before you substitute, and then lana it's correct, it's 8. Lana it's equal to 4 times 3 raised to exponent minus 3, everything divided by 8. This makes sense again. I go to value fagu 4 la, right? That's a suicide mission again. Times 3 raised to exponent minus 3 divided by 8. It's 1 over 54. 1 over 54 is your answer for 1.3. So I hope uthole some value lana. I hope we enjoy it as well as much as I did. In the description box uzothola ama links for other recordings. So for now, smash your like button, smash that share button. Now I have a question asikhulume in the comment section. So for now, asibonane on the next video. Bye bye.